Pretty crappy here. Speed spec looks good, the pack, but we don't usually want speed, I think. Like, we're never gonna go aggro. Marksman can be interesting. Because speed might be a negative thing. Actually, might be positive if you think about the War Factory, but outside of the War Factory, you don't actually want speed, I think. So, I think we can play this without even looking at what the opponent's gonna do. I'm not sure if we are good enough to position it any differently. The only question is, did you leave a space here for fangs? So maybe we will take a look. Okay, so actually, I take that back. We're gonna need to look at what he's doing. With the storm crawlers, you cannot put the this guy's like the um the anywhere near where you would normally put them. So probably do this. I think this might be okay, or yeah, I don't know if this is okay or if it needs to be more behind. So let's see how this works. We will leave this one square up, hoping that a storm here can't snipe the tower. Let's see how good of a job our positioning is. We don't want our hounds to get splashed, neither the steel ball, but the steel ball is looking like they are coming really close. Yeah, bad positioning on the steel ball. I think decent positioning on the, or good positioning on the hounds, actually. That was a nice dodge. Yeah, had we lost some hounds, I don't think we get the same result here. Marksman is completely useless. Okay, let's click the Fire Badger immediately because that's going to be our chaff clear. I guess this can be like right behind the hounds. It's not a big deal. Right. So it's just two crawlers. Let's not invest too much into this because we don't know. What if he doesn't go for what if he doesn't go for it? I think we want to have actually this in the middle since we're kind of unsure really like we want to keep away from the crawlers. We want to keep this safe. The problem is that this is going to all splash together, so we kind of need to also think about this as well. Maybe it goes here. It's very awkward when he has the storms. It's not where we want to place it, so I don't like this at all, to be frank. I wouldn't have minded being like right here if we gave it a spot. So at this point, I mean, we could sell this and go for something else, but I don't know. I think we'd probably just go for some more crawlers ourselves, or like let's go for the beacon crawler. It's not a bad idea, I think. Now we can go with a more normal positioning, like here. Do we go for another crawler as well, like here? Two phoenixes. I mean, two marksmans. It's almost like he's expecting phantom rays or something. Maybe he got that from the drop. Marksman, even though he was stuck on chaff the entire round, it always kind of does a lot of damage. It's kind of like that Phoenix. You don't think much of it, but it actually is extremely good. So the haste module is interesting. Not sure if you put it on the Fire Badger. I mean, it kind of makes sense to put it on Fire Badger. Almost want to put it on a Crawler, but that's probably not good. Maybe we just click range just so we clear his chaff, get another one. Put this guy here. Maybe we start selling out of the steel ball by now. I mean, it is acting as some chaff. Maybe not. Maybe we throw down an oil for him, but I don't want to lose the deployment. We're still not building Phantom Rays, which is quite shocking. Not sure about the positioning of this. Guess we can go for damage. Maybe armor, I don't know. Maybe damage. Maybe damage, I don't know. How much does these guys do? Well. So it's just occurred to me that we don't have any anti-air. It's building more chaff, which is great. Is counter to our Fire Badgers is the Scorpion, which is completely fine. Had we gotten shield, we might have been able to survive one more shot. Now the haste is probably not great into this. It's probably going a little bit too fast, like there. that was super bad. And we might need to sell that actually just to get the to give it to take away the haste module. The haste module on the marksman can be quite good. Thankfully, the marksman actually, we would have lost 400 damage there if it weren't for the marksman. Surprisingly, he doesn't even level up. Okay, so we'll skip here. Now we start getting into the air army. Phantom Rays can be quite good. Phoenixes, well, just think like the fire play right now. Like, I mean, he actually doesn't have that much chaff clear, surprisingly. So it's kind of tough here. Maybe we go for the Phoenixes. He can go for Wasp. He can go for Elite Wasp. Just get Phoenixes just because we know we're always going to use the Phoenix. We're not necessarily going to... and let's just get rid of this. Very poorly placed item. We're going to waste a deployment here. I think we throw down an oil. Not sure if we want to go more chaff because we might be setting the board on fire pretty soon. It would be nice to go for a wasp here. I mean a fang, but we don't have the money. I'm expecting wasps. Nope. Okay. Level 2 Rhino on the flank. Good thing we went for the Phoenix. He's gonna sell this for sure next round, so hope we manage to light our own fire. It's actually good. He actually goes for more scorpions. This is quite nice to see. Wait, did we scam him? We completely scammed him there. And that was his own oil too. I don't know if this is PM. Okay, Wasp is an obvious choice. I think we go for the Wasp here. Level 2 is not necessary, but I think it's fine. I'm really itching to go for a factory soon. Assume he's going to go Wasp. We need Mustangs, or do we just need an entire Wasp ourselves? We're not going to go for more than 2 Wasps. We can go for more Phoenix. And now the question is, do we need to set the board on fire with the Phantom Ray? I think we do. I mean, he hasn't ranged his Arclight yet, but you'd imagine he might. There's no way he's waiting for our. There's no way he's waiting for our. Well, the problem is it's not really about setting our own board on fire. I think the problem is we may be in trouble soon with having fire because these fire badgers die too quick. That might be the actual problem. So all we're doing is we're using these guys to potentially trap his units in fire. So we're gonna do this because we're trying to like catch him, catch the side pockets. He does click range finally on the Arclight. That's good for us actually because we are burning part of our own chaff now. And this oil is coming right into the side, the corners, which is quite good. We likely will need to put a fire badger here. So he has Wasp. He didn't click AA spec yet, which is interesting. We could click AA spec ourselves. It's not like he's got Mustangs or anything quite yet. A-Spec is not that expensive. Additional deploy, I think it's a little bit too late for that now. I think it's time to end the game. We can just go for a factory. The only question is, you know, is he going to destroy us? I think he's going to go Mustangs. You can see the Mustangs already coming out here. So I think we just start going for the factory here. Maybe we sell out of this. Could even sell out of this. I don't know how much this was. 200? Yeah, I'd probably sell out of this instead. Can we go for a level 2 factory? I think so. But it's going to be a naked factory. Okay, we already have the beacon. It's going to be a factory with no... And I think we got to find an angle here. So we're going to go for the snipe. It's going to be a snipe factory. So this chaff is just going to go forward, you'd imagine. So everything is going to converge on here, right? So then it's almost like we can come in from like a sneaky angle like here. But this is still going to come at us, so we might as well go put it here, right? And then we'll just beacon this guy in really, really sneakily. Now the beacon has to be perfect here. It would be great if we had speed. Let's make sure this beacon is actually even working correctly. Okay. And let's hope for the best here. Okay, he does actually go for... it goes for wasps, which is perfect. And I think this is we're planning to end the game here. This tank factory is tanking. It's also going in for the snipe. It'd be amazing if we could light this on fire. Very sad looking marksman there. But War Factory will get revenge. It's not enough though. That's horrible. I was expecting that to do a little bit more. So this is not good. Now we have a huge problem on our hands. The electromag is interesting. But is it really worth it? I think we skip here. We're gonna reposition this factory. And I wonder if we just go for like 2 factories moving in on the side. It's time to sell out of something like this. Okay, well, we can't sell out. So we can do something like this. Throw a shield down. Go for a chaff. The beacon. Let's get the beacon down. Okay. We can go for. We're gonna have to go for speed and range, I think. Least range. Perhaps there's another technology we can go for, like launcher overload, just so we can get in there quicker. I don't think we're worried about this chaff particularly, but it might be good to missile it anyways. And we're expecting to see some. Okay, so he's got acid. Yes, it's going to be pretty deadly, but he's expecting it here. He will get on top of this, and this is going to be a pretty dead factory soon. The oil is not helping us, but we should have 1 surviving factory that has overload and armor. It is level 1, unfortunately, but still. Can we set this on fire? Yes. Now we're gonna snipe the tower here. But we might be getting scammed. Why am I saying that? Because look at this. These wasps. There's no anti-air left, is there? There's very little anti-air left. So now we painted ourselves in the corner, but I don't think it's the end of the world. We can upgrade this. We go for photon now. We sell out of this pretty useless unit here. All right, we can put this here. Let's go for photon. So now the oil will be very, very good if we can get an oil down here. I think we want to position it like here if possible. And we're gonna try that again, essentially. So this is super high stakes gaming. This is how we like to play it. We didn't need to throw the game, but we insist on doing so. The only problem is that we don't have anything to clear his stuff. So he has his own oil as well. We're just gonna have to see if what happens. So the melters come down, but we do have this kind of covered. The oil is not going to be great. The shield is semi-okay. It's not amazing. He oils himself though, good partially. Yeah, I actually like his oil because it kind of helps us. It just question of how quick can this fire badger come up and light the fire. But this is quite good. He's not spending money on the missile. But we don't like this. We want more of this. And we don't want this oil either. This oil is not good. There we go. It's direct lock-ons, but the level 2 is going to survive for ages. There we go. But I think we're running into the same problem we had before. We're gonna have a pretty big problem dealing with his wasps. And losing, getting stuck in the oil is not great. Can we win the air battle, or what is the situation here? Not quite winning the air battle just because... Yeah, maybe we threw the game there. We always end up doing this. So mobile beacon. I think another mobile beacon is probably worth it. I think we sell out of this and we go for 2. We'll sell out of this expensive one. We'll mobile beacon this guy back, and I think we just go for 2 more over here. Just on the other side. Now, do we need 2? I don't think so. I think we can go for... I think level 1 also works. Right? Let's get the more exposed one here. I think we want our speed. So, I think we can go for a second level 2. We definitely want the shield. And we'll beacon in from here to here and to here. Right? And we might beacon this guy backwards. Okay. Probably go for a few missiles. I think that's probably all we do. Kind of forgot to go for the crawler, but he doesn't have anything here that's actually that doesn't have he doesn't have a melter here anyways. So we're letting the level 1 be like our tank. The only problem is the oil's not doing anything. Like the oil's hurting us a lot more than it's helping us. As you can see, we're just getting ourselves stuck on the oil. I almost feel like we have enough here. The only problem is this oil is horrendous for us. And I think we're going to lose again here. And that might be game. Now, was that the oil or was that just a proper throw? I mean, the way we position those factories, I think that those were quite good. You could argue that the range could be better than launcher overload, but I think you only get range if you... Yeah, I mean, if you're slowed by oil, then you need range, and if he has the melting points, you need range. But then again, if we don't go for the oil, then you wonder if our chaff clear is good enough. So it's kind of a mixed bag here, right? You're expecting the oil to ignite. All right, so the question that comes to my mind is maybe we go for like range, knowing that we're gonna get trapped into the oil. But then again, we cannot. We're gonna get slowed. We cannot go for shield. We cannot go for missiles. So it's a very. It's not gonna be amazing, to put it frankly. So we can continue to move this guy back in here. That's fine. I just don't think this is gonna work as good as before. The speed here is 0.9. We're at least on 2.1 on here. But it doesn't matter the speed because there's chaff coming in. And the launcher overload is almost bad because it clears the chaff so much that there's nothing that we can set on fire anymore. And therefore the fire never... Okay, we ignite this fire, but we're still stuck in this fire. But at least we have a little bit of range here. We're stuck forever on the fire. I mean, on the oil. Okay, finally, we're getting close to getting away from that oil. Okay. I don't think this is going to be enough. Now the photon wears off also. That's going to be a dead factory. Is there any way we can come back here? It's got multiple factories. Let's just say we beacon this guy like more... Let's get an extra beacon for this guy to come, you know, to light things on fire. And let's think about this. So we can go for range. We can go for more chaff, right? That's what we can do. And we mainly want chaff for this melting point. Chaff coming in here is just going to burn anyways. I don't think that's going to do anything. Might still be good to have. Okay. We will go for range speed. We can sell something. Still sell a steel ball pretty easily. And I'd like to just go for a ton of missiles. Can go for another chaff as well, but what kind of chaff are we talking here? Rather just missile everything we can. And let's see if this actually can work. I highly doubt it. Okay, but we do have this. This is kind of doing something. Wait a second. We are stuck in our own oil. Still. We do have range, but the problem is we're stuck in our own oil. Like this guy kind of, I mean, we're now stuck clearing chaff, but there was a second there that we were just stuck. I wonder if we just need to get this guy to come here, to light the oil here first, and then we figure something out from here. Maybe we even throw like a tank here to act as chaff. I almost want to just throw another factory in there instead of the range. Just throw a third factory instead. So I think he's going to be occupied with these sledges. Fire still does ignite. I think that's because of the missile potentially, but it almost feels like we're making a little bit of progress here. This oil is horrendously bad. Do we just sell the do we just sell our Phantom Ray? Is that what we should have done? Has it come down to the oil being so bad that we have to make sure there's no Phantom Ray on that side? Right, so we'll sell the Phantom Ray. I do like the sledgehammer flank. Okay. Could go range. I don't know about the beacon. The beacon now doesn't seem to be, the second beacon doesn't seem to be super useful. We will missile everything, of course. Let's see if it is the Phantom Ray is causing us to lose the game. Range is amazing. Surprised that we haven't gotten the tower yet. Right, so it was our own Phantom Ray that causes us to lose. Now, what if we do this? What if we use one of the beacons to basically make the Phantom Ray, like, not do anything? So we'll switch sides here. We'll sell out of this. We'll continue with the two factories here instead. And we'll beacon this one guy, like, you know, onto the other side of the map. Like, we'll get him to go down here and just get him out of there, because we can't sell more than one unit at a time. We know that there's no need for actually the so we can actually just go for 2 and just click range. But we're gonna need maybe not. Maybe we just go for this. This is what we should have done if we could have gotten rid of the Phantom Ray. Right, and then range speed and a few missiles, I think. Could make an argument for some crawlers to come in here. That could also work, but maybe missiles are just slightly more reliable. So there's no oil now. We cannot complain that we're getting oiled. First factory goes down. This factory also goes down. We're not stuck in any oil, that's the main thing here. All right, this is very interesting. So we are losing because of our own Phantom Ray. So here's a round where I think did we get scammed here, or what happened? But again, I think what we did is what did we do here? So he goes for the melting points here, right? So we go for the photon. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna just move this guy as far as we can from any source of oil. Or actually, let's just sell this. Level this guy up, go for photon. Go for another flank. Put this here. We'll oil again, like this. But maybe we don't even want the oil, because again, we've seen how troublesome the oil is for us. So let's just say we don't want the oil this time. We'll do our beacon. And I could see ourselves putting down another crawler here. Okay, so he oils us. Not much we can do. We're stuck on this side of the map until we can ignite something. But our chaff clear is just way too good on the okay, finally get the ignition. So far so good. there we go. So I believe that the difference here was that we sold the Phantom Ray because this puddle of oil just slowed down this factory to the point where it couldn't, it couldn't move forward. Now, I don't remember exactly what we did, but I think the point here that we're trying to make is the oil can be bad for us, the Phantom Ray oil, which is something I never thought about. I mean, I always realized we were getting stuck in our own oil, but sometimes, most of the time, it just kind of worked. But now I'm realizing that we can actually lose games. And so that first factory, so we had the factory here. We moved it over here, right? Let's try that move again, but then, there's something, I mean, at this point, you can't really, I don't know if this electromag does anything. Like, can we shield, can we shield our own? So let's say we sell out this. Then we'll put the same factory here. Or can we shield this from like having oil come through? And I think we did. I think we did two level 1 factories actually. So we sold this. We had 2 level 1 factories. I think we went for the. We didn't know that he was going to go for photon. I mean, we didn't know that he was going to go for the acid. So it made sense for us to go launcher overload. I don't think that's necessarily horrible. I think the oil, I don't know. Let's just say we don't want any oil here. We can missile this. We can maybe missile this. So let's see what happens with the oil. It still comes down. So it's just not good for this guy to be slowed with the oil. I think what happened here is we kind of get scammed because we don't have the AA to deal with this. It does look like we will actually win here. But no. Actually, yeah, very slightly. So what if we take what we learned, and what we're learning is that maybe we don't want the oil anymore. So we don't want this oil, let's say. We just throw another factory down here, go for launcher overload, and just try to beacon him in like this. Still very good, like beeline. Ideally, we have a shield here, but we don't have money for the shield, so it's kind of weird. He actually doesn't even put down a missile here. He's extremely confident of him. The acid is very, very deadly, but it's not as scary as the yeah. Well, it did work. He did reinforce this side with so many of those scorpions. Alright, so we're not going to look at this anymore. Last thing is, should we have went for the factory line? Right? Is that a risk that we should have just not taken? You know, I love playing the factory so much that I don't even care. Like, it's just so satisfying to win with a factory that, who cares, right? We're never really going to drop below 2,000 or something MMR, so no matter what we do, And I think even if we and for all the high level opponents, you have to go factory. I think there's absolutely no way around it. Like if you want to beat the best, you have to go factory every game. So we might just be honing in our factory skills at the cost of some MMR, which I think is fine. But let's just see what we could have went for. So he went for the Wasp. So he also has his Mustangs. The Mustangs are concerning. So I think generally he also has the arc lights. So there's two ways to approach this. We can go for our own like AA Wasps play, which is just huge committal. Might not be a bad thing, but I don't know. So sell out of this, upgrade these guys. Probably click range here. But we don't necessarily need it. We can probably just go for charge shot instead. I don't know though. Maybe range since I don't know. Charge shot maybe just because we have the Phantom Ray line. Now I don't think we exactly would have played it like this because this is not good. It's not good to go for the double tech, I think. Because he counters it with just the Mustang. Now he did go for single tech. Those Mustangs are traversing a really they should have a technology where if there's oil they walk around it. That'd be like a crazy good technology. The Mustangs. It would be way too difficult to program. So yeah, you definitely don't do that. If I see the Wasps, I think your response is just go range Mustang. It's probably what a good idea is. We could just go for this. So let's say 2 packs of range Mustang. You know, just put it, you know, maybe not too much in the corner. So we probably don't want it to get burned, but I think this is decent. We can go for another Fire Badger here because we noticed that we need more fire in the middle. This can get sold. And we can go for another unit. I think if we had to choose, just go for another Phoenix, just more DPS. Borrow, do this, and I love charge shot, so why not? Charge shot is something you need for Scorpions. They're 21k. It's gonna get 3 shot. If you didn't have it, it's like 6 or more than 6. It's like 9 or something. Like it's just way too many. So I think you kind of need the charge shot. Mustangs are doing all right. They're staying out of the fire. They're really good boys. And the main thing is we didn't invest too much into them. Like they're always going to be good. So, you know, unlike the Wasps where it could be an all-in, you could just insta-lose. So I think we just barely win here. Just barely. So we could have done that. That's probably what we should do because we also need to practice our like normal game. Like, you know, then you go for factor after this, then you just win. You don't get into sticky situations. But what I like about the factory is that you could be like at 1 health and he could be at full health. Then you go for the factory, like the factory cheese. You'll likely win the first round, let's say. Then like you need to start switching it up. Like you probably just don't keep pushing for me. I mean, you could depending on what the card or the drop is. But like if you can go 3 rounds of factory after he's full health and you're at 1 health, you can win any game. So like you could pretty much build anything like ridiculous, and then you just build like you just learn how to win 3 rounds of factory, and then you know then it's like you know. It's a very it becomes a simplified version of the game, right? Where you just have to learn how to win 3 rounds of factory, and it just nothing else matters, right? So, and this is what we've seen from the conclusion in some of his games. Like he can just pull victories out of his ass with just factory plays. So we will continue to study his the way he plays those factories. I think we're, not even close to the understanding of his factory knowledge, but we are learning a lot. And the interesting thing is that the Phantom Ray oil is not exactly, and maybe it's because we placed it in the corner. That might be what it usually we place it like here. So it kind of like doesn't really get there on time. But if you place it right here, it just splashes the corner, and your corner factories die like get stuck in the oil right away. Maybe something we have to consider is instead of a corner factory, you put your factory more here. But then in this situation, the the melter still will target the chaff. So I think if we choose to go for the factory, what we might end up doing is just put the factory here. And then the problem is you have this this melter. But like, you know what I mean? Like this, we can move the factories 2 squares over. And then even if the oil splashes, then it doesn't matter, right? Obviously, the corner factory is better. But I'm just thinking, there's more than one way to play this. And I think he throws out a missile here, so I don't think this play is necessarily valid. And we don't have any temp range. But let's just see what happens here. I don't think this is good though, right? Because we need the speed. We also need like, let's see here. Okay, so it's still stuck in the oil, and then we get more oil here. So this is not going to work. So I think even without the oil, I think this is kind of precarious. But I mean, why are we sitting the whole time in oil? This is not doing anything. And it even has speed. Like, why is this? And I think the launcher overload is really screwing us here. So I'm just curious to see how this plays out. Like, I'd be surprised if this actually wins for some weird reason. There's no way. Yeah. All right. Well, every day we learn a little bit more about the factory.